evolution is one of those topics that you're forbidden to question. You're told to accept. And in the field of academia especially. So how did you start to question Darwinism?
That's interesting. I was always taught that Darwin was right. I went to parochial schools and heard about it there in high school and college, of course, and I never had any problem with it. I figured that the Catholicism could live with Darwin's theory of evolution. But it wasn't until I was an associate professor at Lehigh University in the mid-1980s that I read a book called Evolution, A Theory in Crisis by a man named Michael Denton, who was a geneticist and medical doctor living in Australia. And he pointed out a whole lot of problems for Darwin's theory that I had never heard of, even though I was a professor of biochemistry. I'm supposed to know these things. And at that point, I became mad, angry, because I thought I was being led to believe something, not because of the evidence, but because that's just the way we're supposed to think these days. And so from then on, I became very interested in evolution. My previous research was not on evolution, it was on other things, but now I became interested in it. And one of the first things I did was to go to the science library and see who had explained some of the many very complex biochemical systems that you routinely study in biochemistry. The foundation of life is very complex, very elegant. I would look at it sometimes before reading this book and say to myself, gee, wow, I wonder how that evolved. And then I'd say, well, somebody probably knows, and I'd turn the page. But then I said, well, who has explained this? And I was astonished to see there are no papers in the science literature detailing in real terms how some of the very complex systems of life could have arisen by a Darwinian mechanism. And that's when I became very skeptical of Darwin's theory.